race at Washougal, starting to bounce back after a little bit of a slow start to the season for him. And from one KTM, we go to another, the KTM keys to the Moto, Jeff.
Well, if you watch first motos, you know I changed one up here. Smooth throttle control. The track is really hard, slippery, those rocks on top. What I noticed, Sexton, Shimoda, they both were really smooth on the line. And then just look for new lines because the track's changing all the time.
Yeah, caught a lot of riders out of Moto 1. It was pretty wild for everyone except Joe Shimoda. So we'll see if Shimoda can replicate it in Moto 2. Shimoda's starts, by the way, have been on point as of late.
That would help. I like on a track like today, these rocks coming up, the roost hurts really bad. It kind of hurts all over, really.
Well, what's helped is he's using starting blocks now. And we said, where'd that come from? And he said, my starts were bad. So Mitch Payton said, change it up. He's changed it. He's been really good. Here we go. We go into turn 1. More Yamahas out front, just like the first moto.
Jett Lawrence is second.
So Beta Motorcycles drone shot of the Motorsport Whole Shot Award. Is that Cooper? I think it is on the 32, but Jett Lawrence, we talked about bouncing back. He's trying to do it right now. Cooper cuts him off.
Hey, Cooper stayed in it. He was not going to let Jett Lawrence push him wide. McAdoo,
yeah, his first race
is
this
the
season.
lead Kawasaki. Where's our Moto 1 winner?
Yeah, I don't see any other Kawasaki's there. So it is Lawrence and Cooper battling it out. Another shot from Lawrence a few turns ago, and Cooper is able to shut that down. And it is Hunter Lawrence now who has moved into third.
Looks like they put some water down on the track. It's going to be really choppy, slippery in spots. Fixed the takeoff to that tabletop once again, but watch how dirty. Oh no, they fixed this whole turn. I thought it was going to be destroyed. The track crew was out there fixing those sections up.
And Cooper did this in Moto 1. He got the early lead and was checking out, but then he went down. So this is his chance, by the way. Wow, that is rough uphill.
There's square edge braking bumps going up the hill. They fixed this double right here too. I think that's definitely a safety thing because you come down that hill with a lot of speed, hit that double, trying to keep that clean.
Well, it's
fix
pretty
the
smooth
takeoff right there also, yeah. Track's going to be in pretty good shape in spot.
As we watch Cooper try to get away here, what might have been in the first moto. This is a New York State native, so he has a lot of people here cheering him on. Talked to his dad and his brother this morning, but he's got heat from both Lawrence brothers right now. It's kind of a classic duel.
Yeah, it may take Jett Lawrence a lap or two to kind of settle in. I mean, I know he's right there on the back of Cooper, but he's just got to kind of feel things out. But you watch, after a couple laps, I bet he drops the hammer and really puts in a huge effort.
So now we have the running order. It's Cooper, the Lawrence brothers second and third, McAdoo, Romano, Brown, Shimoda is seventh. So let's see what Shimoda can do. Not quite as good a start as the first moto.
Yeah, had an easy one in Moto 1, goes out, rides his own race pretty much by himself for majority of the race. Now he's going to have to earn the overall. He's got all the top contenders in front of him right now. And let's see what he's got.
Hunter Lawrence, who is second in Moto 1, is ahead of Shimoda here, running third early in Moto 2. So it's advantage to Hunter, who has had several overall wins slip through his fingers. So we set the stage here with one lap complete. We'll show you where Shimoda is. That's McAdoo, the first Kawasaki through.
There he is.
There is Shimoda right behind Pierce Brown.
What a good start by Swole is in 8th, Volan.
And in 10th place, Talvaku. I don't even know. So congrats to him. A good start. Shimoda making moves on Brown. That's what he needs to do. Pick his way forward while the pack is still relatively close together.
That's an interesting line right there because he was on the inside of that turn, cut across the ruts, that big rut that was causing everybody problems in Moto 1, and exited the turn on the outside. So once again, emerging lines, things are changing. The track is evolving. And what's really important is here in these motos is you find some smooth lines where you can really apply the power, get some drive out of the turns when it comes to entering the turns. Try to find some lines where there's no braking bumps. You can carry a little more speed in, get on the brakes a little bit later. That's how you set that fast lap time.
A shout out too, that is Jorgen Talviku mentioned him. He's out of Estonia. I don't know if he's ever raced in this series before, but he was the one that was 10th on lap 1, now to 11th. Still a great ride by him. Shimoda now up to the 411 of Romano, and now Jett Lawrence up to the leader.
Yeah, these two young men have had some epic battles in pro motocross, even some pretty good battles in supercross at times. Well, that line is not good there coming out of that turn. They both did, I mean, it was like a double hook, not comfortable trying to get up the wall. But they bring some pretty serious intensity, and I have a feeling that we're going to be another 10 years down the line. You're going to see these guys on 450s battling it out. They both have that type of talent, that type of desire and determination.
That's then. This is now for Cooper. He's trying to show everyone he's back to 2021 form. He wants a shot on Team USA at the Motocross of Nations, the prestigious international event that's coming to the U.S. this year. So he's got to show the AMA that he's got the stuff to beat the international riders like the Australian right behind him.
You got to wonder if Jett Lawrence right now is little by little, lap by lap, trying to rebuild his confidence and his belief in himself, right? That first moto was not good. There were a lot of mistakes, a couple of big crashes. He's really lucky that he didn't get injured and he did that. And so mentally, he's trying to put the building blocks right back together, right? And if he can stay on Cooper's rear wheel, if he can keep Hunter, his older brother, behind him, the deeper we go into this moto, and if he's feeling comfortable on the bike, going okay, body's feeling all right, that will improve that confidence along the way. I mean, let's face it, he's won how many motos now so far this year?
I've lost count. Okay.
A bunch, most
yes.
of them, right? So little by little, he's going to try to rebuild that. And Cooper, on the other hand, your leader, he's trying to keep him back there. He's trying to rebuild his program also.
And Lawrence continues to close on Cooper. We've got a battle for the lead brewing as we head toward Unadilla's Sky Shot.
Big whips right there.
And they've pulled away just a little from
line's
Hunter
good.
Lawrence. Oh, and Cooper cuts across to make sure Lawrence couldn't make it. So now Lawrence will be on the inside. And Cooper holds him off again, but this is a battle now. Dropping down the wall.
Yeah, last time around, the lap times, Cooper was a 2:21. Jett and Hunter Lawrence were at 2:20. I mean, earlier today in qualifying practice, when the track was just, it was mint. It was so nice. Jett turned to 2:12. Now it's a 2:20. That's the difference of how this track has deteriorated and how much more difficult it is for these riders.
Down at the bottom of the wall, there is like a chess match of what direction Cooper wanted to go. Then Jett tried to counter it. Then Cooper countered that. And in that exchange, Cooper extends it just a little bit now. Still a long way to go. Hunter lurking back there in third. McAdoo, a great return to racing after crashing out of the season opener. He is in fourth. And Romano's doing it again. A great ride in Moto 1. His podium for most of it, ended up fourth. The rookie is now fifth.
That berm there, that right-hand turn, that berm on the outside, they're riding the rail. It just has no integrity. It's just giving away. It's just blowing out. And they're going to have to pay attention to that next time around because they're going to have 37 other riders that are going to go through there possibly and keep pushing that dirt out further and further. I mean, this was all fresh at the beginning of this moto, and that left-hander right there, that inside rut is already down where they're dragging the foot pegs exiting the turn.
Look at Hunter Lawrence sneaking back into the picture. He would still win the day's overall, even with the third place position, but he wants more. Does not want to let these two go. As Jett goes back to work on Justin Cooper.
Well, if you're Hunter and the results, even without a moto win, gave you the overall, finally,
you'll take
you'd be happy.
Oh,
yeah,
it's owed. Yeah. It is so overdue for Hunter, who has been close, but denied the overall several times this year. Fans a little torn here. You got the New York State native, but also the very popular Jett Lawrence, and you're hearing cheers for both. Going to go back uphill. Jett goes from outside to inside. Oh, Cooper gets off balance. Cooper knows he's there. Cooper looks over. Can he get back to the inside? And he does.
Wow, they were on the back tire. The throttle.
Here's the move. Here's the move.
Oh!
Jett tried it.
See how slippery it is.
Yeah.
It's just all rocks and like gravel down there.
It's the same thing that happened a lap ago, but even to a more extreme measure. He tried that cutting across. No traction. Cooper pulls away by an even bigger degree now.
On our TV screen, it looks like that's the bottom and it might be flat. Even the turn is a pretty severe off camber. So when he was trying to turn and lean the Honda over, getting on the left side of the tire and hits all that loose dirt, it just skates out from under him, right? Like marbles on the floor, right?
And with that, he loses all traction, then can't get up the hill quickly. And now he's got to deal with his brother Hunter, who's right there. So this is good stuff.
So Cooper finally goes 2:19. That's his quickest. Lawrence and Hunter both go 2:20.
And there you see the overall for the weekend. Hunter would just edge Justin Cooper for the weekend's overall win. It's Shimoda with the most to lose or gain. He has moved around Romano now to 5th. Shimoda's got to make one more pass. He's got to get around his teammate McAdoo to win the overall. And is there some sort of mad genius mathematical calculation that allow Jett Lawrence to still somehow win the overall with 7th in Moto 1? He's been up against the ropes many times this year and has pulled it back together. Let's see what the number 1, the 19-year-old out of Australia, can do. Right now, he's got to close back up on Cooper.
Yeah, but where's Hunter?
Uh-oh.
He's falling off the pace. He's got company because McAdoo and Shimoda are right there.
You know, McAdoo also crashed out of the season.
Hunter's got a problem. He's looking down at the right side of his bike. He's got a problem.
No,
He's
you've got to be
issue.
kidding.
Yeah, going down the hill, I caught him. He had his right foot off of the peg, and he was looking over. Maybe he caught a rock or something and bent the brake lever on the right side that you use with your right foot.
Look at Shimoda.
Oh, he's got a hand up. Yeah, something is definitely wrong with the Honda.
Oh, no, it's fallen through the fingers of Hunter Lawrence again. McAdoo gets by him, and Shimoda looking to do the same. This would put Shimoda into the overall, and I got to think that Hunter's not going to have much fight here. Something must be wrong. The bike is
foot peg,
around.
rear brake lever related. Something right there. Oh, they're getting a little loose coming up the wall. McAdoo feet off the pegs. So where you would really notice it is on braking. If Hunter was not able to use the rear brake.
Wait, he fought back. Shimoda passed him, and he passed him back.
Okay, something that can happen here at Unadilla is one of these little round rocks can get stuck up underneath of the brake between the engine and the brake pedal. And if that happens, you don't have a brake for a bit. But
Jett Lawrence is down again. And actually, Hunter and Shimoda are going to go by. What else can happen today? I cannot believe. You know, we started the day saying the track was abnormally smooth at Unadilla, and as always, this track has bared its teeth.
And once again, 2 motos in a row, Jett Lawrence has messed up his left hand guard. Let's see, he comes in. Oh, he high-sided. That wasn't a lot different than his second crash in Moto 1. He just kind of tucked the front end. It stuck, pivoted on him, and threw him off the right side.
What else can happen today? So now Justin Cooper has a gigantic lead, almost 11 seconds, and McAdoo in his first race of the year is in second. We'll see the recovery again from Jett Lawrence, who finds himself in 5th. So with this, Shimoda, Jeff, he would be in the overall lead because Shimoda's, I can barely keep up.
Got him a 1-3.
Yes, there it is. Yep. Shimoda behind Hunter on the track, but ahead of him in the overall. I think, but every single corner things are changing.
Yeah, there's so much happening in this race, and you've got Hunter Lawrence that time around turned to 2:28, so about 8 seconds is what he lost for some reason.
But here's what I'm trying to figure out. I believe, no, that is Jett. So if we have this right, Where is Hunter in this battle? Where is Hunter? Is he just ahead?
Oh, no, he's back to 7th now. He's got serious problems.
Okay, that makes more sense, because I cannot imagine that he was pulling away from these guys. No, Hunter has an issue for sure. It is not fixed. He's actually been passed by Jett now.
Definitely didn't look like it was anything to do with the rider. It looked like something had happened with the machine.
There he is.
You're going to want to stay away from him in the Honda truck after this race. He's going to be so bummed right here.
The last 3 rounds, it appeared the overall was his. He was leading at Millville. They red flagged the race, restarted it, got a bad start. He's gesturing to the team, yeah.
So possibly the rear brake has gone away. The rear brake lever is bent, or he's got a problem with the foot peg. Looks like the foot peg was still there, so.
Send it down to Jason Thomas. What do you know?
Guys, I'm not sure why, he let up on the face of that jump. He keeps looking down. If it was a rear brake problem, you think he would know that and be able to power through it. I think there's something going on, and I even spoke to the Honda mechanics, and they weren't quite sure. They just know that he's looking down. So for now, it's a mystery.
And we're halfway through this moto. Can he hold on for 15 more minutes?
Well, I just saw him lock up the rear brake there mid-turn. So, yeah, right there, so the rear brake is working.
And the foot peg is there. You can see it on that close-up.
There. I mean, maybe it's bent. I'm not sure.
Oh, jeez. Shimoda had a problem. Now Romano's right behind him. What else?
So that's going to put Lawrence up.
Do not even say that Jett Lawrence has shot at the overall still. Don't even tell me this.
Well, he's seventh in Moto 1, so 7-3 is probably not going to get it done. A 1-4 still looks pretty good.
Well, that could be Justin Cooper, maybe, depending on where Shimoda comes across. Cooper might still have a shot at the overall. Cooper was 5th in Moto 1. So we go back to Shimoda. It would have to be a 1-5-5-1 situation. Wow. And by the way, yes, we've passed that Geico mark, the 15-minute mark. You can save 15% or more on your insurance with a 15-minute call to Geico. So second half of the moto already. I don't know what else we're in store for, but I'm here for it. It has been wild today for the kids at the 250 class at Unadilla.
Yeah, and what's crazy is earlier today in qualifying practice, riders get on the track about 8 a.m. They finish up their second round of qualifying a little bit after 10 a.m. I thought the track was going to be pretty easy. I was like, hey, this is going to be a pretty light day for him.
Yeah.
This track has been anything but easy, almost like more difficult in this drier, flatter condition than what it was when it's super wet and rutted and almost muddy.
Unadilla is not going to let these riders off the hook. No matter what the conditions are, it ends up being tough. And Cooper is conquering it right now, but he has not been immune. He threw away the lead in Moto 1 with a crash. And now maybe Cooper is going to end the day saying, hey, I'm one mistake away from a 1-1, everybody. Put me on Team USA.
Yeah, right?
Up against the side of the track there, just looking for smooth running room. Let's completely reset it. It's Cooper, McAdoo 2nd. Lawrence is 3rd despite the crash. That's Jett Lawrence. Shimoda is 4th.
But we haven't really talked a lot about McAdoo and what he's accomplishing right now. I mean, this is his first race back in.
Well, when he gets come here, he just went off the track because every rider, Jeff, is saying, I have to have something crazy happen. I cannot have a clean moto here at Unadilla. So he just went off the track, and now he's under fire from Jett Lawrence. But to your point, it's pretty impressive first motocross race of the year for McAdoo. And he got hurt at the beginning of last season as well. So he has not ridden motocross really in almost 2 whole seasons, which makes this ride even more impressive. McAdoo, the rider originally out of Iowa.
Well, and you don't have to see exactly what a rider's doing during the week to know that he's putting in the work. And I remember when I retired from racing, the legendary rider David Bailey, he goes, wait till you're out of the sport for 2 or 3 years. He goes, all of a sudden, it's all transparent because the results tell you who's working hard and not. And that to be injured and to miss these races, and then he's done all the work that it takes to ride at the highest level of the sport. I mean, he's a super talented rider, but the hard work is what separates the riders out there. You know?
And that's really what McAdoo has staked his claim on. At times, does too much, rides too hard, pushes too hard, but the effort on the other side is never a problem. And he's showing it right now as he tries to battle Jett Lawrence for second place. McAdoo in the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki. So Shimoda is fourth. Despite whatever happened to him, he slipped back ahead of Romano, and that still gives him a 2-point edge for the overall today over Justin Cooper. And Hunter Lawrence, get this, Jeff, is moving back up. He's into sixth.
Yeah, that's it's been crazy. It's been all over the place. I mean, how inconsistent has all of this been? And remember, if you were watching the end of the first moto, we said, okay, this whole thing, the whole leaderboard can get flipped upside down next race. And it's not far off of that.
No, it's darn close to it. Jett Lawrence, who has had 3 crashes today, is looking to make the pass. Now, Jett would actually be off of the overall podium if it ends like this. He's got to make some moves. And there has only been one race all year, including Monster Energy Supercross.
Oh, look at that huge rock on the takeoff of that jump. And that's I mean, they went in with the dozers and fixed the face of that jump. It was all new, all
there
clean.
it is.
And there it is. So it just pops up. Unadilla goes, oh, here you go. A new obstacle to move around.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Unadilla was saying, Emmett said I was going to be an easy track to ride today. I'll show you. Oh, look at Lawrence powering down to try to get McAdoo. I was going to say there's only one race this year, including Supercross, without Lawrence brothers on the podium. Total, one race. Can they both rally back right now? Hunter's hanging on by the skin of his teeth to third overall, despite a bike problem.
He got him.
And Jett's got it right here with McAdoo. Oh, and he almost went down again. He overstepped that rut.
Yeah, he really has been, forcing the front tire into some of these ruts. And I've noticed it all day long. He's been losing grip with the front end of the bike multiple times. And I don't know whether it's just, he's a millimeter off on where he needs to be on the line, or he's just pushing that hard.
So by Jett moving up to second, might be able to take third overall away from his brother. I believe they'd be tied on points for the weekend with this. Back to Justin Cooper. Redo of Washougal, where he dominated the second moto, and he's doing it again here at his home state race. Now again, home state riders in New York don't have a real advantage at Unadilla because they don't let local riders or amateurs ride this track. They have a separate track over on the hillside they call U2. So Cooper's familiar with the dirt here, perhaps. But he's got a lot of fan support and family and friends here as well, and he's giving them what they want, a big lead in Moto 2.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Pierce Brown giving us a ride with the GoPro camera for our course preview. So earlier today,
Yeah, back when the track was nice and smooth and fun. It doesn't look like a lot of fun here at the end of the second moto.
Super rough for Justin Cooper, our leader, and everyone else. But Cooper's handling it now deep into lap traffic. The rider from New York, from Long Island. And we'll give you the motorsport.com whole shot replay and show how Cooper was able to control this one early.
Yeah, definitely around the first turn, he had it cleanly. You've got the Honda on one side, Kawasaki on the other. He secures the inside line coming into what kind of is the second turn. And then you finally, after about 15 seconds, you get around to the actual whole shot line. Justin Cooper notches that. And so far, he had a little bit of company with Jett Lawrence, and then Jett made a mistake, and now he's just cruising. 15-second lead for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider.
Jett Lawrence second. Still a great ride by McAdoo in his return to racing, running in a podium position in this moto in third. Shimoda, that fourth place, a 1-4 would be a good enough for the overall because Cooper would have a 5-1. So I wonder. Well, I'm sure they put it on the pit board. The question is, has Shimoda read it? He did not read it at Redbud, and he did not know he had won the overall.
Well, you've got Lawrence, who's it was 15 seconds. Now it's 14.5. That's Jett Lawrence. I mean, with 5 minutes plus 2 laps, is there any chance he catches Cooper?
15 seconds. 15 seconds. Oh, here's catching. Shimoda has caught McAdoo. Whether he needs to or not for the overall, he'd like to make passes. Racers are racers.
He's going to need to, though, because Hunter Lawrence is still right there, just the top of your screen.
You hear them revving the bikes, trying to tell the lap riders, get out of the way. That's the horn on a motocross bike, revving the engine.
I've never heard that before, Jason.
Yes, that's close as they've got.
I've been around forever. I have never heard that. Yeah.
All right, you learn something new every day if you're working with me, okay?
Oh, you feel like such a stud when you power rev somebody. You power rev somebody, like, get out of the way.
Oh, I thought you meant I was a stud for teaching.
No, not you.
Oh, no, I've never done it. Just heard it. So here is Shimoda trying to get around McAdoo for third.
Oh, look at the bikes just jumping around. The square edges are just so jarring right now, these bumps. It's like little curbs all over the place. I know you've hit some curbs in your car before, but it's just like that, except there's thousands of them around the track.
And it appears like there's thousands of lap riders out here right now that they're dealing with.
Yeah. That's
4 wide into this corner. And through that exchange, somehow McAdoo is able to survive and still hold on to third. Again, Shimoda doesn't need this pass for the overall. He'd like to make it happen anyway. Still pays championship points. And honestly, he might not know where he is for the overall.
I'm telling you, there's 3 minutes plus 2 laps. Hunter Lawrence is just a click off. He's not that far back.
That is unbelievable. I mean, Hunter had his hand up, motioning to other riders, I've got a bike problem. That was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, and Jett Lawrence had a big crash also, but yet he's second. You're like,
and Shimoda trying to get around, still can't make it happen. Waiting on Hunter Lawrence to enter the fray. What happened here?
Uh-oh, that's that's Hunter Lawrence.
Hunter off the track.
Hunter's
crashed.
So
Hunter
he's
is
gone
crashed.
down.
Yeah, so now he's 7 seconds back. Anyone want to keep notes on this moto? Hunter had a bike problem, went off the track, Jett Lawrence crashed.
I mean, when we have to do the 250 highlights after all this is done, it's going to be like 10 minutes.
We're going to run out of tape.
Yeah.
In the tape room back there. Okay, here's Shimoda trying to get inside.
He's got him now. He's got him. No.
Oh, you calling it.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. Now with McAdoo. McAdoo is as determined as they come, teammate or not. He'll fight you for it, and he did.
Right?
Up the wall we go. And as I said, Shimoda doesn't need the pass for the overall, but I'm not convinced he knows that. He did not know at Redbud when he won the overall where he stood until after he crossed the finish line. He might be desperate to make this pass. And I cannot say enough good things about the comeback for McAdoo to have this type of pace. Shimoda's been up here all year, and McAdoo is not taking any gruff from him.
Yeah, he's definitely showing a lot of determination right now, a lot of heart.
Well, that's what it's always been about for McAdoo. They are about 10 seconds back of Jett Lawrence.
Well, that's not a good line. I think he missed his line right there. He ended up way wide. Uh-oh. Look to his right. Joe was on his left. Joe. It's like some Top Gun stuff right there. Where'd he go?
Yeah, he needs to send those flares back there right now because he's got someone on him. I don't even know if Shimoda cut out of that turn early on purpose or if he just lost the back end. At this point on this track, you can't tell what's on purpose or what is just the bike and the track are taking
he got
you.
sideways right there. Woo, Joe got really hit some of those acceleration bumps before that tabletop. Got really squirrely.
Unbelievable what this track has developed into and what it has led to drama-wise in the 250 class today. Justin Cooper long gone, Jett Lawrence second, McAdoo and Shimoda. I mean, this is an
Joe goes feet off the pegs. That's what I was talking about earlier, is there's little things like little rocks, little edges that happen on this track that you think you're good, and then all of a sudden, bam, hit something, bike goes, feet are off the pegs.
I have to wonder. I'm going to guess here that Shimoda doesn't know that he's okay in fourth. He's got several seconds now on Hunter Lawrence because Hunter went off the track. He was throwing everything at his teammate, and he almost threw it away.
Yeah, and, you know, you think back to the history of Unadilla. There's that famous shot of the legend, Bob Hanna, right? Feet are off the pegs. And you thought, I mean, that was kind of Bob's riding style. It's like, no, that's Unadilla's style.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Joe's one of the smoothest riders out there. He looks like Bob Hanna today.
Jett Lawrence has hit the floor 3 times.
Yeah, and he's been super smooth all year.
Yeah. Hey, the only one who's handled it without major incident is McAdoo, who is usually one of the most hanging out, aggressive riders out there. So good job on you, Cameron, if you can hold on. But on this track, every inch is another opportunity for a mistake.
Yep, little less than 3 laps to go.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 as they come around.
Yep, just looks like we got 2 to go. Looks like Justin Cooper just crossed the finish line area. 20 seconds ahead of McAdoo.
So right now, Shimoda still has his second overall win of the year in hand, if everything stays where it is. Cooper is going to be second overall with the 5-1. And Hunter Lawrence somehow would still end up on the podium in third if he's able to hold on.
So here's what shows just how strong Jett and Hunter Lawrence are. Both riders have hit the deck.
Yeah.
Both riders have been on the ground this moto,
yes.
and they're both still running top 5.
Yeah, and we thought Hunter had a problem. We thought his moto was going to be over. Jett checked back in with our leader, Justin Cooper. Boy, has he ever put it together lately. And a gruesome foot injury. He was putting photos on Instagram back in December and January when he was first hurt. All these external cages,
external fixator, yeah, that's not good. When you've got external hardware trying to pin all the bones back together. I mean, you just can't. He's not able to train. Like, you can do some upper body sort of cardio, rowing, sort of stuff like that, but you can't run, you can't cycle. All the main tools that you use in your training program, he couldn't do any of that. So not just the fact that he can ride the motorcycle at the pace he is, but now he's got the fitness so quickly. I mean, I'm pretty impressed.
He's not taking days off. I was at the Monster Energy Amateur Championship at Loretta Lynn's last week, and I'm driving from the hotel to the track, and I see 2 guys running on the side of the road, and I'm like,
oh, you saw him doing the run, the 7-mile run.
Him and his teammate Levi Kitchen, who's recovering from a wrist injury, so he can still run.
Yeah.
And Cooper said that was actually the first run he was able to go on since the injury 7 months ago, and running is really his preferred method of training. So he's starting to be able to do the things off the bike that he wasn't able to do, and it's coming together for him right now.
Yeah, running hurts. It just does. It just.
Well, a lot of riders don't do it because of that, the pounding.
Yeah, they don't like the pounding on the ankles and knees and whatnot. Cycling, road cycling specifically seems to be one of the training tools of choice. But here we go, white flag. 10-second lead.
Well, it's interesting. They often announce Team USA for Motocross of Nations, the world team event, at this race at Unadilla. They decided they're going to wait until next week at Budds Creek. I can only theorize that that's maybe to just see Justin Cooper's progress. He's starting to turn it on late in the season. I'll send it down to JT. What do you think?
Guys, I've asked everyone possible, all the decision makers this weekend, what's it going to take for Justin Cooper to claw back into this conversation? They said exactly what he's doing. Go out and win and prove that he deserves to be in the conversation. So good luck to Mike Pelletier. Good luck to the AMA deciding who deserves that 250 spot. And also, you guys were talking about Joe Shimoda and whether or not he knew. I spent the last 10 minutes staring at the Monster Energy Pro Circuit mechanics, seeing if they would relay that message, and they haven't. All they've said is pass McAdoo, get to the front, and then a countdown on a lap. So it's anybody's guess if Shimoda knows if he's got this overall or not.
So Shimoda's probably panicking back there. Yeah, thinking he's not going to get the overall. And he now made it happen. He now makes it happen on the last lap, even though he didn't need to after all that battling.
Have a little cushion there. Let's see what happened. Gets to the inside. McAdoo gets a little bounce off of that drop-off, and Joe just goes right in with authority. Finally says, okay, I'm not waiting any longer.
That's key. That's a key word there. Finally. Justin Cooper looking to put it together. He's going to have a 5-1 on the day, and he will be edged out for the overall win by Shimoda, who will now have a 1-3.
I mean, this is the way this track goes sometimes. I had a number of races here myself where I'd win a moto and then not the next, or have a bad first moto, win the second one. Fortunately, I was able to put some together there towards the end of my time here, but this place is brutal. I mean, there's been some legendary heartbreaks at this racetrack, and and you know, in contrast, there's been some legendary victories. And for Justin Cooper, this is going to be the highlight of his time here at Unadilla.
Yeah, he's still going to look back at that early crash, lap 2 of Moto 1, where he threw it away, and that probably cost him the overall. But Moto wins. That still feels pretty good. He has definitely raised his level. He proved that second Moto win at Washougal 2 weeks ago was not a fluke. Justin Cooper working his way back, and on top in Moto 2 at his home state race here at Unadilla. But Joe Shimoda looking for his second overall win of the year and of his career. The rider out of Japan is going to go 1-3 and win Unadilla.
Nice. Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider from Japan.
He dug deep for that one. And McAdoo gave him all he could handle.
Oh, no, and not even a high five from McAdoo.
No, interesting. And I believe it will be Cooper second overall and Hunter Lawrence hanging on for third. We'll shake that all out when we return. The Stasic 18 eDrive and 20 eDrive electric balance bikes are ready to deliver a whole new riding experience for your growing rippers. And if you want to be a part of the broadcast, scan the QR code you see on the screen and submit your video entry.
The next generation of Stasics are equipped to unlock endless opportunities and develop the skills of your 8 to 12-year-old riders.
So visit Stasic.com to learn more about the new 18 and 20 eDrive.
Rated E for everyone.
Meet Renee, bank manager and mom of the year. But when she gets on her bike, she becomes Rebel Renee. Rebel Renee is the most outspoken member of her book club. And she didn't even read the book. It's rumored she once used her phone at trivia night.
Cleveland.
And she isn't above greasing some palms to get things done. And Rebel Renee rides with Geico because savings and great service are two things she'd never rebel against. Geico, savings and service for both your sides.
New CRF 250R. Lighter, faster, stronger.
Ready to help you find your edge.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean. Super easy, super fast.
Racing has always been in my blood. But that doesn't mean I didn't have to work hard. Or that we couldn't have a little fun. And a lot of fun to have. No matter the terrain or the vehicle. For whatever I do, General Tire delivers.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. With a nationwide network of parts and care, Napa helps you get up and go. Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
Welcome back. Parts Unlimited, Unadilla National here on MAV TV. Just a wild day in the 250 class. So wild, I don't think Joe Shimoda even realized he'd won. Let's send it to the podium.
Congratulations, Joe Shimoda. Great ride today. You get the overall. Now, we were all wondering that entire moto if you knew that you were in the overall winning position, or did you think you had to make that pass?
This time, yeah, I kind of could judge where I'm at, and just kind of, I was in the overall position already, but just kind of kept going and going, tried to get on the box again. So, no, it was a good moto. I had a tip over and made it tough for myself again. So, yeah, I'd like to thank my family, whole team, Mitch Payne, my trainer Nick. There's a lot of people behind me for this. Thank you.
Weege, last time out, he went 3-3 for 4th at Washougal. He made good on it this time, getting that overall win.
Yep, but he did say it a tip over, so that means everybody had at least one problem today on this rough racetrack. Give me the Lucas Oil race recap. Justin Cooper off to the races up front.
Yeah, and it was really close right there. Jett Lawrence was trying to get to the front and get that clean track. Couldn't make it happen. Hunter then starts to have some problems, starts to fade back a little bit, and you're wondering what's going on. Starts putting his hand up. Some problem with the right side of his bike, the rear brake, the foot peg, something was going on. And he lost a little momentum there for a while.
There's the tip over from Shimoda. Jeez. Everybody having problems.
About a 5 or 6 second fall right there.
And then Jett Lawrence has his problems. He had crashed twice in Moto 1. He goes down here in Moto 2 while chasing Cooper for the lead. Allows Cameron McAdoo and the now rejuvenated Hunter Lawrence to get by him. And then Hunter Lawrence goes off the track. Just an endless cavalcade of highlights here in this moto. Hunter would somehow still hold on for a 3rd overall, but it looked like the win could have been his today if not for the bike problem and that error. Justin Cooper wins this moto. Now, he did not have any problems here, but he did crash away the lead in Moto 1. Shimoda's 3rd was more than enough for the overall. Good job, Joe. He actually did know the map this time, and that's why the team didn't need to tell him. McAdoo ends up 4th in the moto. Hunter Lawrence 5th despite the troubles. Another quietly solid performance by Max Volan 6th. Sent it back down to the podium.
Justin Cooper, that was a little bit more like it. You got off that start in the first moto, but made good on it that time in the second moto. You bring your dog up here. You're trying to burn the internet down. That was a heck of a ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bummer. I can't be too disappointed. I wanted to go 1-1 today. I really want to win here. I haven't won here yet, so it didn't pan out today. It's a bummer, but yeah, I had that mistake in the first moto and went down with the lead, and yeah, it was just my bike was pretty bent up from there, so did what I could and got back to 5th, but that one was more like it, and was able to manage that pretty good and just flow with the track. I'm feeling more like myself.
He's making that Team USA decision very difficult, Jason Wygant.
Thanks, JT. 14th career moto win for him, and 2nd career podium performance for the dog, Thor, who was on the podium a couple of years ago.
Yeah, do you need a passport for a dog if he goes to Motocross of Nations? Do you know if those got to go with it?
He's Team USA already. I'm sure the dog was born in the USA. He's good. He's a citizen. It's natural. So Shimoda wins this one. There's the scores. You like that, Jeff?
The race is here.
Well, I didn't want to call you out. I didn't want to call you out. Yeah, the race is actually in the United States.
Oh, boy.
You're 51 years old. It's okay. Cooper is second overall, and Hunter Lawrence somehow third, despite an endless array of issues in that second moto. Let's send it back to the podium.
Well, Hunter Lawrence, it's never boring with you. We're all wondering what was going on in that moto. Can you fill us in a little bit with the bike troubles you were having?
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough situation. We changed an engine during the break, and then it was like locking up and stuff, and felt like engine. So, you know, obviously we changed an engine. The first thing my mind went to was, crap, it's season or whatever. And I guess it must have had to have been something with the brake because the engine didn't stop. So pretty bummed. You know, had the overall in me, and yeah, just let it slip away.
Tough day for Hunter, but I'm sure he'll come back swinging next week at Butts Creek.
Well, that's 3 races in a row that he could have won, but he did actually gain 2 points, despite all that, on his brother. So he's got it from 28 to 26, pays 25 points per moto win. Not quite out of it. Shimoda is still third at points, and Justin Cooper fourth. Just wild the way this 250 race day went, and that's why Jett Lawrence builds that points lead, so he's got a gap for days like today. Let's go back to the podium.
Jett Lawrence, I don't think I've ever seen you crash that many times. I'm sure it wasn't what you set out to do today, but all in all, could have been a lot worse. You only lost 2 points in the championship to your brother.
Yeah, I mean, today just wasn't my day. I mean, I hope I put on a good show of crashes today, so I hope you guys like them. But yeah, it just wasn't my day. And the first one was more my mistake. I felt like I was trying to ride fast than the track should have been ridden, and was making a lot of mistakes and a little bit on the edge. The main big crash was my foot hit the downshifted, and this engine braked really hard, and I was leaning off, so that kind of sucked. But thankfully, no broken bones. I'm definitely banged up. I'm going to feel it tomorrow morning, so might need a cane. But no, on the next round, make sure I come back and make sure I come back smarter and put in a better effort.
Well, these two, I'll tell you what, they have a tough day, still have a great attitude, and guess what? He's still your points leader, so all is not lost.
No, but he was lucky to escape from those 3 without, like he said, any broken bones. But he did say, hope the crowd enjoyed those crashes, so still playing to the fans. Next race will be Budds Creek next Saturday in Maryland, about half hour south of Washington, D.C.